And we should be live. I'm going to go ahead and check real quick. We should be, but just to be safe. Says we are. And the answer is yes. Awesome. Hey, hello everyone. Ace here. Welcome to Livestream. Sorry for the delay. I had to be AFK right before the stream started, unfortunately. And, Alpharius is... Hey, Alpharius, how... are you having an issue still?
Switched over to a different internet.
Okay. You sound a little better, but you also sound a little quiet. You might need to boost your volume up just a little bit.
Is this any better?
Much better.
All right.
Might actually be a little bit too loud now, but then again, I did boost you a little bit, so let me try. Now say something.
How does this sound?
Perfect. All right. All right. Hello, everyone. Ace here. Welcome to the live stream. As you can tell, I am joined today with returning guest Alpharius, and today we are back with some more Star Wars Empire. Zach Kilgore says, yes, and Ora says everything is in order. Now everything is... Yes. Sorry again for the delay. Had to be AFK, and of course, well, there we are. And I think we are all set to see how this goes. Although I did actually notice one thing on the front page that concerned me. And that thing is the word Kennedy. Because the last name of Kennedy just does not mix very well with Star Wars these days, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But it's not the same Kennedy, so... Crisis averted.
Yeah, thank God.
Besides that, this is an older Star Wars comic, and, yeah. Siege says, hi, everyone. Hello, Siege. Oh, by the way, I do need to mention one thing. A little bit of a surprise I actually have. So, for those who don't know, I actually have managed to go ahead and manage to get Veterans Day off of all days. So I will actually be able to do a live stream on that day. And I'm thinking the plan is going to be... Since we have a movie event anyways, I'm actually going to be showing both films that we were voting on. So the first film, the one that didn't win is going to be what gets shown the first Monday of the month. And the one that people did want is going to be shown on Veterans Day itself proper. Zach Kilgore says, yes, I too am not a fan of JFK. Anyways, but yes, so like I said, that's the plan, is that we're going to have we're going to be watching two different films, both of which are set in World War I. Zach Kilgore says, nice, I'll have to hop onto the Discord then. Yep. And I'll let you guys know which films exactly they are in the coming days. Now, hopefully, I think you guys will get a kick out of these. Both these are... Well, one of them is pretty famous, but it's also one that I suspect a fair number of people might not have seen. And the other one is also a little bit more obscure, and I'm very sure that very few people have actually seen it. So, it will be interesting to see how this goes. Anyways, so, back to the comic itself, Star Wars Empire, issue number 7, if I remember correctly. Stung by the destruction of the Death Star, the Empire responds with unbridled fury, lashing out at friend and foe alike. On the distant outpost of Solum, eager to earn favor with his Imperial masters, Governor Malvander carries out a ruthless scorched earth campaign against rebel elements. And though 10 innocents die for every rebel, Malvander considers it a price worth paying. So
Some of you may die, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
I'm actually reminded more by that speech from Battlefleet Gothic Armada. Some may question what right I have to destroy a planet with 10 billion souls, but those who truly understand know I have no right to let them live. That's what this reminds me of a little bit. Jackson says, greetings, free births and fellow trueborn. How are you? We are doing pretty decent today, reading ourselves some more Star Wars Empire. So a actually good comic book series. So I guess I'll voice the. Who do you want to voice of these characters? Actually,
I guess I'll voice the one on the far left.
all right. Then I guess I can voice. Well, it seems to be a tradition. I always voice the woman for some reason. I don't know why, but okay. And you want to voice the dude with the bandana, or should I?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, so real quick. Apparently, the link to my Discord channel has expired, so let's go ahead and fix that. I'll just copy the link and send it off to you guys. And it will be, there we go, pinned, and yeah. There you are. Ura says, so many orcs. Maybe we'll see how this goes. They might not actually be They might not actually be Star Wars orcs. I mean, we already have that in Rogue Squadron anyway. So, all right, let's go ahead and carry on, shall we?
You're on, Bren.
No, not him.
He's still alive. Lol, bind that arm.
It's over for me. Save yourselves. The fight must go on.
And abandon you to the carrion eaters? Poet? Never.
If your time is over, then so is ours. Yolan Bryn, you're our inspiration. We need you.
Nearest doctors in Gaia Salem.
It's an Imperial stronghold, Ardal.
But we're not without friends there. We have to get him treatment now.
Uru says one of them is called LOL, truly memetic. On the subject of memes, has anyone seen the recent Mandalore Gaming review of Ring?
No.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh no.
Let me put it to you this way. One of the characters in that is named Meme.
Now there's a pretty meme. Exquisite.
So that's a start. You actually don't play as him, though. You play as his brother named Alberic. And it's basically... Okay, so it's based off of a Wagner opera. The opera itself that lasts 3 or 4 days in total. Or you're supposed to watch it over the course of 3 or 4 days because it's a very long opera. So they turned it into a sci-fi setting set in the grim darkness of the far future of 40th century. Not 40th millennia, but 40th century. And it's based around an opera by Wagner. Except they made it as crazy as possible. Some of the stuff in that review, and by the way, the review itself is an hour and a half long, and it is highly entertaining. So the game
has some eye energy.
So the game is supposed... Oh, yes. So the game is supposed to be, like I said, a case of high art. And by the way, I did a shorts on this video on this as well for the sequel, Ring 2, which is also covered. Ring 2, believe it or not, was given away as a gift free for people that went to Hardee's and got a meal from them. The sequel became a discount Happy Meal gift from Hardee's. And the game's rated M for mature. Because, of course, if we're going to put any game in a get discount Happy Meals, it might as well be a mature rated game. To be fair, it's not a hard M game. I would say it probably from what I've seen, deserves more of a teen rating, but still. Jackson says, a game based on an opera? What? Yes. And then they made it, like I said, as crazy as possible. So there's a bit where it... Okay, so the first section, you're playing as Albric, King of the Dwarves, and your goal is to steal some really valuable gold to forge into a ring to be able to rule everything. And so he ends up, for whatever reason, teleporting to a river which appears to be just in space near Saturn for some inexplicable reason. Whereas the actual opera just takes place on Earth, near the Rhine, because it's a Wagner opera. So the amount of stuff that changes that made it weird is... Oh, by the way, he sails on this river by just using a surfboard all along the way. Jackson says, is this a joke I'm too clanner to understand? Am I going to have to actually show parts of the video just to show what the hell I'm talking about?
Jackson, if you have any NovaCat friends, they might be able to explain it better.
Them, maybe some Hell's Horses. Oro says, the King of the Dwarves is also a massive asshole. That is true. But he also does it in such Giga Chad ways, too, that it makes him an entertaining villain. A highly entertaining villain. Zach says, hey, was there a certain Austrian painter that really liked Wagner? Well, yes. However, the people that made this game are from France and not Germany, which might explain some of the weirdness.
Holy crap, it gets more similar to I by the second.
Yeah. Also, apparently, the guy that was in charge of the project ended up going on to work for... what's the name of that studio? Quantum Dream Studio, whatever. The guys behind games like Fahrenheit and, the David Cage games. So this game... So the Ring games basically kind of were a test bed for what became the David Cage games.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, although these... I'm going to have to just show bits of it, aren't I? Let me see. I'll go ahead and look it up because it's one of those cases where it needs to be seen to be believed. Mandalore Gaming, and Ring. Like I said, I'm gonna just show this because I know we're getting onto a tangent, but I just keep laughing my ass off whenever I see this darn thing, anyways. So. But, have you, so I take it you haven't had a look at it, though, you said, Alpharius.
Nope.
Prepare yourself. So I've got the link. It's not what it needs to be. I'll just copy and...
Comment. The Dwarf King insulting a woman and then surfing off might be the funniest thing I've seen in a while.
Yes.
There's things that are coming.
Alright, so I've got this. I'm going to go ahead and actually let Alpharius watch this live.
Oh, Lord.
So where do I even start with this? Okay, I'm going to start the river bit here because... Yeah.
His voice acting is fantastic. He's so thrilled to be evil when he has power and just so bitter when he doesn't. But it's his upcoming segment that seals it for me. You equip the diving helmet and go into the chamber you flooded earlier.
So yeah, watch
this. If you don't equip the
this.
helmet first, you just die. If you do... there's nowhere to actually swim to.
Oh, fuck. What the fuck?
My sisters, listen. An ode to the Rhine, and one for Wotan, our father, for having entrusted us with such a delightful mission. Frolicking all day long in the ever-changing waters, and guarding a sacred treasure.
The treasure is brilliant, spectacular gold. The gold is so spectacular that it can be forged into a ring that will grant the power to rule the world. It's even beyond that. It'll grant absolute power. Wotan has told them to lure away or distract anyone who comes too close, but unfortunately for them, they're dealing with Alberic.
Poor little fish. You think I find your advances irresistible? No. Go instead and sing your desires to the salmon and the trout.
For blowing up each of the Rhine maidens, Alberic gets a new key, and then he surfs away. You go through this.
Somebody has to edit that with the
Elusive as
chat.
the river, deceptive as a woman. A dwarf I may be, yet I am not fool enough to be caught in your net.
And yes, there's already Giga Chad memes of this guy.
Drink peace, happiness, and oblivion from my breast.
I have no taste for peace and happiness. And as for oblivion, my little fishy, you're already history.
Fuck off, I hate being happy.
Delete chat energy.
The anti-gravity boots let you fly
So
up,
yeah, there's tons of other stuff because this is a full hour and a half review. There's a lot in there.
What the?
But yeah, there's a lot of that in there because, like I said, hour and a half. I'm actually going to look about trying to pick a copy up online of this game and seeing what it takes to actually get it running. I know it took Mandy said it took a lot to get it running, but I'm willing to try if I can get memes out of it like that.
It has to be done, brother.
It'll make some interesting shorts, I'm sure. There's, like I said, though, there's plenty of other stuff. Anyways, let's get back to it.
Last line was murderers.
Okay. All right. Murderers!
This is a battle we can't win. Tark, you and your fighters with us. The rest will disperse. We'll know where to find you.
All right. So it looks like Boba Fett is looking for someone. Like he's got a bounty. That's interesting. Help me. So they've set you on him, you fiend. I'll tell you nothing. Ah! BYRNE is gone. They took him. I don't know where. He was staying in the old schoolhouse. Please, stop. What have I done? BYRNE, forgive me.
Man has faster mood swings than Anakin.
To be fair, if someone stomped on your leg stump like that.
Yeah, fair enough.
Alright, bleep, bleep. Alright, so who wants to voice the Yoda-looking character?
I guess you could.
Alright. And you want to voice the computer? Or
Sure.
Alright.
The writing's in code, Felt. I'll compute. Get back to you.
Bleat. Bloodsucker! You'll have him over my dead? Do it! You've killed plenty of good men before. What does one more matter? Blam!
Got that translation? One's a grocery list. Guess rebels have to eat too, huh? There's also a list of friends, the rebellion. Contact in Gai Solem is a shoemaker by the name of Rabut.
Jackson says, I was watching the opera game and dear God, I thought I was on some Goliath Scorpion hallucinogenics. Oh boy, you have no idea how insane it gets. I mean, the surfing bit there, which is fairly early on in the game, that is a pretty solid, funny example, but it's not the only one, not by a long shot. Oh, alright, so I'm pretty sure that's the dude in the bandana there, which is your character.
Alright. Your arm was too badly damaged to save. I'm sorry.
The wonder is I'm alive at all. I gave you my blood. Naya says that I'll be a poet and a great resistance leader too. More likely, I'll be a silly young boy. A silly, brave young boy. Darren brought down the skim fighter on his own.
Not safe to stay here. Malvander's eyes and ears are everywhere.
There's a... oh wait, I think that's your character there too.
Oh. I thought I was also the third one. No, wait, that's the one on the bed, right?
Yeah, the third one's the one in the bed. And
There's
that's
a
my
rumor he is a hired bounty hunter to find you.
I hope the price wasn't too high. My brother does hate to part with his own funds. Malavander has a brother? Malavander, he's your brother? Never were two men less alike. We were raised to govern Solum together. I came to see the evils of the Empire, not so for Malavander. Power, fortune, they mean everything to him. Malavander would go to any length to integrate himself with his superiors. And how better to show his loyalty than to execute his own brother? If he could see himself for what he is, just a puffed-up little tyrant on a galactic backwater, a Palpatine doesn't even know his name.
A message from the Imperial Administration section, sir. To the Governor Solem. Sir or Madam, attention.
Sir or Madam? Sir or Madam?
I'm sure it's just an oversight, Excellency. It has come to our notice that current Imperial expenditure on Solam is in serious excess of budget.
Of course it is. How do they expect me to eliminate these rebel vermin, sticks and stones?
As the tax levy on Solam has been increased by 20% to finance the Imperial war aims, we remind you that any shortfall must be met from your own funds.
They're going to ruin me. It's so unfair. Don't they understand there's a limit to what I can squeeze? There's a limit to what I can squeeze out of the people?
Especially as you keep killing so many of them off. There's also the matter of Boba Fett. Second part of the fee, sir. 50,000 credits. I'm at a loss to know where we're going to raise it.
Don't you bother about Fett. He is the least of my worries. In any case, if he does his job, my problems will be over. My dear brother is a talisman for the rebels here. Without him, the resistance will crumble. I wish that was the resistance from the sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
Raboots! Raboots! Boba Fett's been seen in town. He's flashing Yolan Bren's hollow about. You want to voice this character?
Why are you telling me?
I thought you might be interested, you know.
No, I don't know. Why should I care? Off you go now. I'm closing up.
Oh dear.
So Boba Fett just handed him a coin to get him to close up early. That's actually a smart move, actually.
Actually, it looks like it was the guy he was just talking to.
Raboots, what is it? You're white as a sheet.
Boba Fett, he's here. He's looking for you.
Thud, thud. Oh no. From.
Get him out. Use the escape tunnel.
I won't. You're in no condition to argue, poet. Ah! Ah!
Can't penetrate that armor.
Sail him off. Chum chum chum. Think we got him?
Don't count on it. Let's move.
Where's the others?
Dead. There's only us.
And we won't be around for long if we don't get out of here. Head for Condus. He'll never find us in those caves.
It's that Mandalorian armor. How do you fight it?
I think we've shaken him off. Ah!
Was that the woman's name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll let you voice one of the characters shouting it, so.
BYRNE!
Take cover! Kaboom! Darren. One of us is going to die, Fett. Too many have died already. Let there be an end to it. It's me he wants. Hold your fire, Boba Fett. I'm Yolan Brain. Well, wait. Okay, so my mistake. I surrender myself to you.
We won't allow it, poet.
We can't fight Boba Fett. You know it, Ardal. What's better, that one dies or all? Then let us all die. You can't give in to evil. You said it yourself, Yolan. The beast can't be saved. Naya, what point is there in your death? This is war, girl. Sometimes a sacrifice is necessary. At least let me die with the knowledge that you'll be here to carry on the fight. One day it'll be you and others like you who'll bring this evil empire crashing down. All of you, I ask only one last thing. That you live for Darren's sake and for mine.
Never.
Lol. Sorry, I had to. You made me feel like a coward, poet. To turn yourself over to the mercy of Boba Fett and not lift a hand, it is the hardest thing I've ever asked of you. I have faith in you. Be brave. Isn't somebody going to do something? I regret you'll have to make do with one wrist. Free Yolan. Okay, so let's do this in unison here. 1, 2, 3. Free Yolan Bryn.
Bren.
Free Yolan Friend.
Bren.
That's an ugly looking crowd out there. Why haven't they been dispersed?
With the purges ongoing, the palace guard is somewhat depleted, Excellency. The guard captain felt it best merely to contain the situation.
I'll contain him in a cell if he's not careful. Boba Fett, sir. Ah, Fett and dear Yolan. I heard you had a little accident. I'm so relieved it wasn't your neck. Otherwise, what would I hang you by? I'm sure you'd find something, brother. 1, 2, 3. Free Yolan
Yolan Bren.
Free Yolan
Yolan Bren.
I'm sure you'll understand, Fett. This campaign has been rather expensive. I've only been able to scrape together 10,000... I wondered
how you wriggle out of it, Malvander.
I'll send the rest next year. I trust you'll find that sufficient for now. Run along now. There's a good fellow.
Well, he just made the last mistake of his life.
Yep, yes he did.
Keep back, or out!
1, 2, 3. Free Yolan
Bren.
And now look, I'm not going to be intimidated by you, Fett. You'll get your money when I'm good and ready. Now off you go, or I'll order my guards to shoot you. P'chew, p'chew, p'chew. I see. Fett actually appears to be in a good mood because he let the guards live, so...
Yep.
Now, Fett, remember who I am. Ardal. Crash. Don't shoot. Ah, yes, my incredibly valuable neck piece. I forgot about that. And Fett, another little job. Get rid of these rebel scum, would you? You have my neck piece that's worth much more than we agreed. You owe it to me. Let him pass. Fett, I insist you do something. How dare you walk out on me? Fett? You let him go? Could we have prevented him? He has his payment. That's all he wants. He's not our enemy, Naya.
This one can't say the same!
Spack?
This is for Daron and all the others!
Let him live, Ardal. Much as he deserves it. Kill Malavander, and they'll only put another in his place. Perhaps even worse than this vile creature. Saved the old family ties. I knew I could count on you, Yolan. Don't get too excited, brother. Your punishment begins here. I'm taking you with us.
I don't understand.
I want Malavander to live as we do, suffer as he's made our people suffer. He can see firsthand the evil he does, and I pray it will make a better man of him. And if it doesn't, then we kill him. Then we kill him.
They couldn't leave you to die, Bren.
We knew Malivander was spreading his forces thin. With enough reinforcements, we could take the palace. For once, I'm glad you disobeyed me.
There goes the most evil man in the galaxy.
No, not evil. He's little more than a machine, a tool to do the job. He's a man with no heart, no feelings, no interest other than the price on another man's head. We at least have something worth living and dying for. I pity Boba Fett. So, that was the end of that comic. Well, that issue anyways. What are your thoughts?
That was pretty good.
It's a pretty decent little short story, yes. Urus says, mercenaries always as good as the money paid. Then again, if you show you're not worth your word,
Well,
like that guy did, obviously Fett's not going to do anything about him getting captured. Urus says, brotherly ref housing sure went out of hand when blasters were drawn. Urus says, drugs were only the beginning. I'm sure he's referring to Ring. And on that subject, thoughts on Ring for what little bit you saw of it, Alpharius?
the Dwarf King is a Giga Chad. That is the end of my thoughts on Ring.
Yeah. Yeah, that is, to be fair, I only showed you one bit of it, so yeah, that's fair enough. Zach Kilgore says true. Alright. So, you want to read, huh?
I'll fix my Ring deficiency as soon as I possibly can.
Oh boy, you have no idea how crazy it gets.
I can hope.
Anyways, you want to read one more issue of this and see how it goes?
I should probably get off for now.
Gonna call it? Okay. Yeah, I am. Yeah, this is a pretty good issue. It is a one-off story, so I was kind of, I'm kind of interested to see where this comic book series goes from here, though, for sure. But yeah, any other thoughts you have on this, Alpharius?
Nothing else really.
All right. Well, it sounds like Alpharius is going to need to head off, so I'll go ahead and let him do so. And yeah, this is definitely a comic book worth having a look at, and a good one-off story within the comic book at that. So yeah, I am looking forward to seeing what the next issue brings. But since we're going to go ahead and call it, yeah, this has been Ace. Hope to see you guys again soon.